Manchester United started with the draw at Ipswich Town. 1-1 it finished in Ruben Amorim'S first game in charge. Jamie Carragher is here, and so too Gary Neville, who was watching on at the weekend from afar. Gary, what were your impressions? Were they positive after that first game?
I don't know about that. I mean, I think that we were all intrigued before the game to see how it would go. I think when I saw the team sheet, I worried a little bit about the lack of pace. I think that obviously I wasn't quite sure how they were going to set up, to be honest with you, to begin with, when you looked at the actual 11. But when you saw him on the pitch and saw Mazraoui, De Ligt and Evans as a back three and Casemiro and Eriksen in midfield, you know full well that five that are at the heart of the team there basically haven't got the pace or the energy, and they've got obviously quite a bit of age between them. So I was worried about how they were going to keep compact and pushing up the pitch and keep that high energy game. And United started well, obviously, but they fell back in a little bit to sort of how they've been recently in the previous months. As the game went on, I thought Ipswich were the better team in the first half, and I think that he obviously used the players that he'd been working with most in the training that hadn't been away with internationals, and that obviously reflected the fact that the team he picked. But I think moving forward, you'll see a lot stronger performance level when obviously the players who are, I think, probably higher energy and younger come into that 11.
Before the manager came in, Gary, you've been speaking about Manchester United going to a back three. You think it would have helped them under Erik ten Hag. Who do you think would be the winners in the squad in terms of changing to this system?
I mean, I think Luke Shaw, if he can keep fit, because I think that ideally you play sort of that left centre-back can play sort of to, can go out, that left centre-back and right centre-back have got to be able to go out and play right back and left back, I think. So obviously we saw Mazraoui do it yesterday. I think Ugarte will be a winner, not just because I think in midfield, just because he's played for him before. I think it's how you fit in the likes of Rashford, Garnacho, Bruno Fernandes. Because one thing you know with that system, you've got two wing backs, you've got a back three, and you've got a two in front. It's then that three, which obviously the two that he likes to play sort of come inside a little bit. So you're wondering about sort of Ahmad played obviously wide yesterday, but Garnacho, Rashford, Højlund, Xerxes, Fernandes. That's the conundrum of those attacking positions where I can't quite see what's going to happen. I think Mainu and Ugarte, for me, play in midfield. I think they're absolute certs. I think Luke Shaw's a certainty to play. I think he would be anyway in a back four or a back three. I think ultimately you'll end up with Yoro as the right centre-back. I think just because of that energy and that pace. So I think the winners will be the ones who I think are adaptable, who can maybe sort of, if you like, interchange from a 3 to a 4. Because when we played with the back five with Terry Venables or a back three with Glenn Hoddle, the outer fullback, the outer centre-backs do have to be able to go out wide. So I think the ones who are more flexible and agile are going to be the winners.
He's made it very clear, Gary. I think he said it to you as well. There is only one way, and that is his new way. Is there going to be some short-term pain?
I mean, I think that will have hit him straight away when he saw that performance. I mean, at the end of the game, we saw the stat that was put on us in the post-match from Sky, where it showed that United had 102k, which I think was obviously pretty low. The lack of energy. I mean, he said to me in the interview on Thursday that the one thing that he wants to change straight away is the athleticism of this team and the athleticism of the squad. I don't think he was just referring there to getting them fitter. I think he was actually referring to actually them just running more. I spoke to him about his Sporting Lisbon team and the fact that they were just a high-energy team. They were all absolute sort of dogs when they were out of possession. And you look at that Manchester United team, they haven't got good standards out of possession, whether that's in the last 6 months or whether that's in the last 2 years. They just don't have the level of work that the teams in the league seem to have, and that yesterday was apparent again. So I think there is a real issue that's obviously Ruben Amorim at the end of that game will know a lot more than he would have done before the game in respect of just looking at the lack of energy in that team compared to what he would ordinarily have expected back in Portugal with the team he managed.
Looking at Marcus Rashford, he decided to go with him. Bruno Fernandes' position, either side of the central midfield players. But what do managers want? They want this man to go in here. As it comes across, see where the space is. Two central midfield players have dived in. Ruben Amorim mentioned Johnny Evans after the game. He wants him to go in there and go and press and get after the opposition 10. So we run it on from there, and this is where Ipswich get their first real chance of the game. But again, the space either side of the central midfield players. You actually see, look at Amorim there, he's not happy at all. Frustrated, but it's early days for Manchester United getting used to a new system. He will like, but he still had to pass on instructions. So you see, Ipswich now, they play it back. Look at Casemiro. The manager wants him to lock on there, but look, he doesn't feel comfortable. He's checking over his shoulder. That's where I normally am. I'm a hold midfield player. I don't feel comfortable going higher. Look at him now. Look at him, look. He looks at the bench. Look at the manager. Look at Ruben Amorim here. Imploring Casemiro. Go higher. Be aggressive. This is what I want. Look at him. Go. So you go in here. Look, he's still not quite sure. But the manager's told him, go lock onto the centre midfield player. You and Eriksen go. And then what happens? This is where it works what he wants. Johnny Evans is pushed in here. Mazraoui is pushed in there on that play. This is what he wants. We can see this early on, so they've got it wrong on the first clip, but this is them getting it right. Casemiro doesn't feel comfortable. Eriksen probably doesn't feel comfortable in that position. But this, in these early stages, these are the things we can see what Ruben Amorim wants. And as the ball now comes here, there's Johnny Evans, there's your left-sided centre-back and your back three.
Probably wondering what he's doing up there.
Exactly, and there's Casemiro, you're holding central midfield player there. But you can see in that clip, that is what Ruben Amorim wants in terms of the team. You could see how frustrated he was on the first clip and the difference on the